When Earth's ultimate battleship entered the galaxy, every alien fleet fell silent. HFY sci-fi story. The signal that changed the galaxy. For nearly 300 years, the Galactic Union believed humanity was nothing more than a minor species from a quiet blue planet on the edge of the Orion Arm. Earth had traded peacefully, respected every treaty, and rarely displayed its military strength. To most alien civilizations, humans were clever engineers, stubborn explorers, and surprisingly friendly diplomats, but never a serious military threat. Whenever galactic admirals discussed dangerous powers, Earth's name never appeared on the list. That illusion shattered on a cold morning above the neutral world of Kilos Prime. More than 60 alien fleets had gathered in orbit to negotiate an uneasy ceasefire after decades of conflict. Massive cruisers from the Varnock Empire floated beside elegant silver carriers of the Illyrian Dominion. Merchant vessels, diplomatic escorts, and security destroyers formed a glittering ring around the planet. The atmosphere remained tense, but every commander believed diplomacy would prevent another galactic war. Then every radar station detected something impossible. At first it appeared as a tiny gravitational disturbance far beyond normal sensor range. Scientists assumed it was a dying star or a navigation error. Seconds later, long-range scanners overloaded. Warning alarms echoed through every bridge. The object wasn't moving through space, it was bending space itself. Confused officers rushed between holographic displays. Unknown contact approaching. Mass exceeds all registered capital ships. No engine signature. Unable to calculate dimensions. Silence slowly replaced the frantic reports. Across dozens of command bridges, admirals watched the same impossible image appear on their tactical displays. A dark shape emerged from folded space with terrifying precision. There were no explosions, no dramatic flashes of light, only a ripple that seemed to tear reality open before closing behind an object so enormous that nearby cruisers looked like insects. The unknown vessel continued drifting forward. Its armor reflected almost no light, giving it the appearance of a moving mountain carved from black steel. Countless defensive turrets lined its surface, while glowing blue energy channels stretched across its hull like rivers of lightning. Massive shield emitters rotated silently around its central spine. Thousands of smaller escort drones launched automatically, surrounding the giant vessel in perfect formation. Every military computer reached the same conclusion. Classification: unknown. One Varnock admiral whispered quietly, "That's not a battleship." Another officer finished his sentence. "That's a civilization." Panic spread faster than any weapon. Emergency communication channels exploded with desperate questions. "Identify yourselves. State your intentions. This is neutral territory." No response came. The unknown vessel simply continued forward until it stopped exactly between every assembled fleet. Then, for nearly 30 seconds, nothing happened. The silence became unbearable. Weapons officers waited for attack orders. Shield generators reached maximum power. Fighter squadrons prepared for immediate launch. Every commander expected the first shot of the largest war in galactic history. Instead, a calm human voice echoed across every communication frequency in the galaxy. "This is Earth Defense Command." The translation systems paused for only a fraction of a second before broadcasting the message into thousands of alien languages. "You are entering a protected humanitarian zone. Stand down. No hostile action will be tolerated." Many alien officers laughed in disbelief. Earth? Impossible. The same peaceful civilization that exported medical technology and agricultural equipment had built. This? Intelligence agencies immediately searched their classified databases. Nothing. No reports. No rumors. No spy satellite had ever detected construction of a vessel remotely similar to the one now floating before them. The Varnock Supreme Commander narrowed his eyes, scanned for weaknesses. Minutes passed. The answer returned. No identifiable weak points. What about power output? Unknown. Reactors exceed sensor limits. Weapons. unable to count them all. For the first time in decades, veteran admirals felt genuine fear. Meanwhile, aboard the enormous human flagship, everything remained calm. Rows of officers monitored hundreds of holographic displays. Artificial intelligence systems coordinated millions of automated processes simultaneously. Unlike the nervous alien fleets outside, nobody aboard the human vessel appeared stressed. Captain Evelyn Carter stood at the center of the command deck. She observed the alien armada without emotion. Status: a young officer replied immediately. 63 foreign fleets detected. Combined combat capability estimated at 11% of our defensive threshold. Another officer added, no confirmed hostile actions. Captain Carter nodded. Maintain passive posture. No cheating. No dramatic speeches. Only quiet confidence. This ship had not been built to intimidate. It had been built because humanity had learned a painful lesson centuries earlier. Peace survives only when protected by undeniable strength. As the alien fleets continued scanning the mysterious giant, another shockwave spread through their intelligence networks. The vessel finally transmitted its identification. EDS Titan. Class: Planetary Defense Dreadnought. Length: 41 kilometers. The bridge crews froze. 41 kilometers. No civilization had ever constructed a warship even 1/4 that size. An uneasy realization settled over every commander. If Earth possessed one vessel like this, how many more were hidden beyond human space? When Earth's ultimate battleship entered the galaxy, every alien fleet fell silent. HFY sci-fi story. The silence surrounding the EDS Titan lasted less than a minute, but to every admiral in orbit around Kilos Prime, it felt like an eternity. Every scanner, every quantum sensor, and every intelligence AI was pushed beyond its limits, trying to uncover the ship's secrets. Yet the results were always the same. Unknown technology, unknown reactor, unknown weapons, unknown armor. The greatest military minds in the galaxy had prepared for wars against ancient empires, rogue AI civilizations, and even mythical cosmic predators. None of them had prepared for Earth. Inside the command chamber of the Galactic Union flagship, Supreme Admiral Varek stared silently at the tactical map. The enormous human battleship occupied the center of the display, while 63 alien fleets surrounded it from every direction. Normally, numbers decided battles. Today, numbers meant nothing. We have visual confirmation, an intelligence officer reported. The hull is covered with thousands of independent defense batteries. Every section appears capable of fighting alone. Another officer interrupted. Sir, we're detecting something inside the battleship. What? Shipyards. The room fell silent. Repeat that. Our scanners indicate internal construction facilities. It appears the battleship can manufacture fighters, drones, missiles, and possibly entire warships while in combat. Several officers looked at one another in disbelief. A warship that could build more warships. No known civilization possessed anything remotely similar. Aboard the EDS Titan, Captain Evelyn Carter watched the growing panic among the alien fleets without changing her expression. Status update. Their targeting systems remain active, Commander Hayes replied. But no fleet has locked weapons. Captain Carter nodded. They're thinking. Yes, Captain. And frightened. Very frightened. She turned toward the massive observation window, where dozens of alien armadas floated like tiny sparks against the darkness of space. That's exactly why we came. Centuries earlier, humanity had nearly destroyed itself. Resource wars, civil wars, orbital conflicts. Human history had been written in sacrifice and survival. But instead of repeating those mistakes among the stars, Earth chose another path. They built a military so overwhelming that no enemy would ever dare attack first. Their greatest weapon wasn't destruction. It was deterrence. For 200 years, the Titan project had remained completely hidden. Entire moons had been converted into automated factories. Artificial intelligences designed impossible materials. fusion cores the size of cities, powered weapons no alien civilization even believed could exist. Only 12 people outside Earth had ever known the project existed. Now, the galaxy knew. Suddenly, every alarm aboard the Varnock flagship screamed simultaneously. Incoming signatures. What now? Multiple contacts exiting folded space. One by one, blue tears opened across the darkness. Then another, then another, then another. Within seconds, 20 enormous human warships emerged from hyperspace behind the EDS Titan. Each one smaller than Titan, yet still larger than anything ever constructed by another civilization. The alien fleets collectively stopped moving. No commander issued an order. No pilot dared advance. Even the automated defense AIs hesitated. The tactical display updated. Earth Defense Fleet. 21 capital ships confirmed. Estimated firepower. Impossible to calculate. One frightened communications officer whispered. Earth wasn't hiding one battleship. They were hiding an entire fleet. Across the galaxy, emergency transmissions spread faster than light. Every government, every emperor, every military alliance, every pirate kingdom, everyone received the same terrifying image. 21 black human dreadnoughts floating silently beside the impossible giant called Titan. Stock markets collapsed within hours. Military alliances activated emergency councils. Ancient civilizations that had ignored humanity for centuries suddenly requested diplomatic meetings. Nobody wanted war anymore. Not with Earth. Back aboard Titan, Captain Carter finally received a secure transmission. The President of Earth appeared on the holographic screen. Captain, Madam President, the galaxy has seen enough. I agree. Our message. Captain Carter looked toward the silent alien fleets, then answered calmly. Delivered. The President smiled slightly. Good. Now let's remind them why humanity built these ships. Captain Carter raised an eyebrow. The demonstration? Authorized. Every alien sensor suddenly detected an unbelievable surge of energy. The Titan's enormous reactor awakened. Blue lights spread across the ship like rivers of liquid stars. Space itself began vibrating. Gravity distorted. Nearby asteroids cracked apart without being touched. Several smaller alien ships lost power completely. What is it doing? No idea. Energy output increasing. 500%. 1,000. 10,000. Then, the Titan fired. Not at a ship. Not at a planet. Not even at a moon. A single blue beam crossed empty space and struck a lifeless asteroid nearly 2 million kilometers away. There was no explosion. The asteroid simply ceased to exist. Matter disappeared completely. Nothing remained. No debris. No dust. No radiation. Only empty space. Every bridge across the galaxy became silent, because every commander understood exactly what they had just witnessed. If that weapon had been aimed at a fleet, there would have been no survivors. Captain Carter calmly opened every communication channel. Humanity seeks peace. She paused. But peace survives only when those who threaten it understand the cost of war. No one answered. No one argued. For the first time in galactic history, every fleet lowered its weapons. To be continued. No one spoke after the demonstration. Across the 63 alien fleets, commanders stared at the empty region of space where the asteroid had existed only moments earlier. It hadn't exploded. It hadn't broken apart. It had simply vanished, erased as though it had never been there. For the first time in recorded galactic history, the balance of power had changed in a single day. Supreme Admiral Varek slowly stood from his command chair. He had fought wars for nearly 80 years, defeated pirate kingdoms, and negotiated peace between civilizations that had hated each other for centuries. Yet nothing in his experience prepared him for what he had just witnessed. He turned toward his communications officer. Open a secure channel to the human flagship. Seconds later, Captain Evelyn Carter appeared on the holographic display. Varek lowered his head slightly, a gesture of respect rarely shown to another commander. Captain Carter, I have one question. She nodded. asked, "Why hide this power for so long?" Captain Carter remained silent for a moment before answering. "Because history taught us that power shown too early becomes a challenge. Power revealed only when necessary becomes a warning." The bridge fell silent. She continued, "For centuries, humanity watched great empires rise and fall. Every civilization believed larger fleets guaranteed peace. They were wrong. Bigger fleets only created bigger wars. Our people chose a different path. We built enough strength that no war would ever be worth starting. Thousands of light years away, deep beneath the surface of Earth's moon, another operation had already begun. Inside the classified Lunar Defense Complex, enormous blast doors opened for the first time in 50 years. Artificial intelligences awakened from standby mode. Massive construction arms came to life. Rows upon rows of unfinished warships stretched beyond the horizon of the underground facility. One engineer whispered to another, "They finally know." His colleague smiled. "They only know about Titan." Back aboard the EDS Titan, Lieutenant Maya Chun received an encrypted transmission. "Captain, priority message from Lunar Command." Captain Carter read it silently. Then she smiled. "The Foundry is active." Commander Hayes looked surprised. "Already? The President expected this. Every intelligence agency in the galaxy will now try to copy our technology. They'll fail." "Why?" Captain Carter looked toward the stars. "Because they're studying our ships, when they should have been studying our people." Humanity's greatest advantage had never been superior weapons. It wasn't stronger armor or faster engines. It was cooperation. While alien civilizations spent centuries competing against one another, humans had learned, often through painful experience, that survival depended on working together. Scientists shared discoveries. Engineers improved one another's designs. Even rival nations contributed to projects that protected humanity as a whole. The Titan itself had been built using ideas from thousands of researchers across Earth and its colonies. No single genius had created it. Humanity had. Suddenly, another alert echoed across every bridge. Unknown warp signatures. This time, they weren't human. Far beyond Kilo's prime, space fractured open. 1, 5, 20. Then hundreds of enormous warships emerged. They carried no diplomatic markings, no Union symbols, only dark crimson hulls marked with a black star. Admiral Varek's face turned pale. The Dominion. Captain Carter immediately recognized the name. The Crimson Dominion. Varek nodded. They've remained hidden outside explored space for nearly 400 years. Why are they here? Before anyone could answer, a transmission arrived. The screen filled with the image of a tall, armored alien whose cold, golden eyes never blinked. "I am High Commander Zarek." His voice echoed across every frequency. "We have observed today's events." His gaze settled on the Titan. Humanity possesses technology capable of changing the balance of the galaxy. A long pause followed. "We have come to claim it." Instantly, more than 300 Crimson warships spread into attack formation. The alien fleets around Kilo's prime panicked. Several captains attempted emergency jumps. Others activated planetary defense shields. Everyone expected the largest battle in galactic history to begin within minutes. Commander Hayes looked toward Captain Carter. "Orders?" She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she calmly walked toward the main viewport, watching the enormous Crimson Dominion fleet advance. Then she spoke just loudly enough for every officer to hear. "They think Titan is Earth's strongest ship." A small smile appeared on her face. "They're about to discover it isn't." At that exact moment, every sensor aboard every ship detected a new gravitational disturbance far beyond the battlefield. This one was nearly 10 times stronger than the Titan's arrival. Across the stars, reality itself began to bend. And for the first time, Captain Evelyn Carter looked genuinely interested. The impossible gravitational wave rolled across the battlefield like an invisible tsunami. Every navigation computer instantly failed. Hyperdrive shut down. Long-range communications flickered before going completely silent. Even the mighty EDS Titan registered the disturbance, something that had never happened before. Across the bridge, warning indicators flashed red. "Captain," Lieutenant Maya Chun reported, "the source of the distortion is still over 12 million kilometers away." Commander Hayes frowned. "That's impossible. Nothing should be able to generate a gravity field at that distance." Captain Evelyn Carter calmly folded her hands behind her back. "It can." Hayes looked at her. "You know what it is?" A faint smile crossed the captain's face. "I've only seen it once, during its construction, far beyond the battlefield. Space itself seemed to crack apart. Instead of a normal hyperspace jump, an enormous ring of brilliant blue light formed in the darkness. The ring continued expanding until it stretched hundreds of kilometers across. Lightning-like streams of energy raced around its edge, while nearby asteroids were pulled apart by the immense gravitational forces. Then, something moved inside the light. At first, the alien fleets believed it was a small moon. Their sensors quickly corrected the estimate. Not a moon, a ship. The vessel slowly emerged from the gateway with breathtaking precision. It was unlike anything anyone had ever imagined. Its silver and black armor reflected the stars like polished glass. Gigantic energy towers rose from its spine, surrounded by rotating shield rings that glowed with white light. Hundreds of escort frigates launched automatically from hidden hangars, forming perfect defensive formations around the colossal vessel. Every military AI in the sector attempted to classify the ship. Every AI failed. The display simply read, "Unknown designation." Inside the Crimson Dominion flagship, High Commander Zarek watched in disbelief. "What is that vessel?" His chief scientist answered quietly, "Our scanners cannot determine its size." "Estimate." The scientist swallowed. "Approximately 70 kilometers." The bridge fell completely silent. Even the Crimson Dominion, the civilization feared across the outer galaxy, had never built anything half that size. One officer whispered, "If Titan isn't Earth's strongest warship, what have we just awakened?" A secure transmission reached the Titan. Captain Carter accepted it immediately. A deep, calm voice echoed through the bridge. "Captain Carter." She stood straighter. "Fleet Marshal. Situation report. 300 Crimson Dominion warships have entered the sector. No friendly casualties. Galactic Union fleets remain intact." "Very good. Orders, sir." The Marshal paused only briefly. "Protect every civilian." "Understood." "And Captain." "Yes, sir. Let's end this peacefully if they'll allow it." The transmission ended. Commander Hayes looked confused. "Who was that?" Captain Carter answered quietly. "Philippe Marshal David Hade, the commander of Earth's Deep Space Defense Fleet." Across every communication channel, the newly arrived vessel finally identified itself. EDS Guardian. Class, Solar Defense Fortress. Built to defend the Sol system. Commissioned after the first contact accords. Mission, humanity shall never fall. The words echoed across thousands of alien bridges. Admiral Varric slowly removed his ceremonial command cap. One Titan. He looked toward the Guardian. And now this. How many more? Captain Carter answered over the open channel before anyone else could. Enough. Commander Zarek refused to retreat. His pride would not allow it. He activated every fleet-wide communication channel. Humanity, you hide behind oversized machines. We command 300 battle fleets. You command only 2 giants. He raised one armored hand. Destroy them. Within seconds, thousands of crimson missiles surged toward the human formation. Energy cannons illuminated the darkness. Railgun slugs accelerated to impossible speeds. The largest coordinated attack in Crimson Dominion history had begun. Yet, neither Titan nor Guardian fired a single shot. Instead, the Guardian's outer shield rings began rotating faster. Brilliant white light expanded outward, forming a massive sphere around every Allied fleet, including the Galactic Union ships. The incoming barrage struck the shield. For one breathtaking moment, space glowed brighter than a star. Then, every missile simply disintegrated. Every energy beam faded harmlessly. Every kinetic projectile slowed, stopped, and drifted away as harmless metal. Not one allied ship suffered damage. The alien commanders stared in disbelief. The Guardian hadn't blocked the attack. It had rewritten the physics around itself. Captain Carter smiled for the first time. "Now," she whispered, "they understand." Commander Hayes looked at the tactical display. The Crimson Dominion fleet had stopped advancing. Their formation was breaking. Ships were turning away. Fear had replaced confidence. And yet, Fleet Marshal Hale gave no order to pursue, no command to destroy. Only one simple message was transmitted to every ship in the sector. Humanity does not seek conquest. We seek peace. But peace will always have guardians. The battlefield became silent once again, but deep in the unexplored regions beyond the edge of the galaxy, something ancient had been watching everything. And for the first time in millions of years, it awakened. To be continued.